All right, so we're talking part 2 of the explanation of the embedded cryptic predictions. Now, since I've been cut off on YouTube as of August 3rd, I've had to make my predictions only in writing. So I added the dates that I added the writings to the past videos that are titled Seek Theater, Seek Temple Theater, Colorado Shooting, and related videos that are titled like that. And from the writing, the tags, you'll be able to figure out if you've got at least not more than 99 people working on it, 99th Monkey Philosophy, excuse my sarcasm, in those fusion centers working on this, you might be able to figure out maybe 2 or 3 of them. Maybe. Back to the 21. But the 21 coincidence and the 12. The 21-12 coincidence, the Joker. Now the next thing you got to ask yourself, if I know about this, and I'm comparing the Batman cartoon epics, the movie epics, the fact that more than a year ago I said that actually the Colorado shooting was started to be predicted about a year ago when I said that CBS would have to pay me the same amount of money they paid Subtotal for the film that shows the assassination of John F. Kennedy. If I remember correctly, CBS paid that guy supposedly $10 million. I don't know if that's a true statement or not. Or maybe it was $1 million. But whatever it was, whether it was $1 million or $10 million, they paid him a lot of money for that film and for the rights to, use it. And as it turns out, that was the first inkling of the fact that the next violent thing that was going to happen was going to be in a theater. Now, whether in my 308 videos on YouTube, whether I made references to comic books, Batman especially, or not, is really immaterial. Because remember, stories are all over the place. And the odds of actually connecting, superimposing connections, are actually very easy. For instance, there's a guy who wrote a bunch of books, and a lot of people bought the books. And they said that that the Bible code, mentions Obama's name, Clinton's name, and Bush's name, and all that kind of stuff. But then they took the book Moby Dick, and they did they used the same pattern of decoding on Moby Dick as they did with the Bible, and they ended up with similar things. So you could do that with any book. So my guess is the code, if there is a code, goes deeper with that. Just because they could do the same thing with Moby Dick and as a point of reference against the Bible, or they could take any novel and do that with comparing it against the Bible. So that will deflate the idea that there's a hidden code in the Bible. Anyone coming up and saying that is wrong, because in the quantum matrix field, once you compare what I know in the quantum matrix, dark matter matrix field, with superimposing that discovery that I have made and superimpose it against the 99th Monkey Philosophy, entanglement, and string theory, you end up with a model that says nothing is a coincidence. And if you know how to manipulate and read the messages correctly, you will be able to come up with probably a lot of the same predictions that I have come up with on a straight arrow directly. And I do mean directly predicting who, what, where, and when. Because Not everyone is going to be like me. I'm angry, I'm hacked off. There's no way that anyone can return the years that were stolen from me by what the city of Los Angeles, the county, the state of California did to me, the federal government, by ignoring the fact that my civil rights were continually violated for years, and they're still being violated right now to this day. Because all of life is cause and effect, and if you use a law that originally was supposedly was to create good, but ends up hurting somebody innocent, then that law has to be jumped, scrapped immediately. And since people went out of their way to hurt me because of looks, a lot of it was just because of looks. Your car is ugly, your truck is ugly, your motorhome is ugly. The people in the cities don't want to see, the people in neighborhoods don't want to see ugly things. That's interesting. Do they have an ugly daughter? Do they have an ugly son? Should we call people who are disfigured, aren't born crippled and disfigured and autistic and look funny? They don't look like what we're used to. Should we call them ugly? Should we haul them away, tow them away to the junkyard? I think you people are really sick. And a dictator needs to come along and rip you people that think like that right out of the system and throw you in the junkyard. The bottom line is, there are things in this universe that probably none of you will ever understand. You don't investigate properly. You suffer from a very, very contagious disease called, which I call complainitis. You're not happy unless you're complaining. You're not satisfied. I won't say happy. Let me change that. You're not satisfied unless you're complaining. And the satisfaction you receive from doing something harmful to other people, even by remote control, is not long lasting. I'm a living example of that. It doesn't last. You got to go out. It's like an addiction. You got to go out and cause pain and agony to somebody else, and keep on passing it on, until you've hurt enough people that you've either exposed yourself as a real troublemaker, and somebody's going to wipe you off planet Earth somehow, some way, and then you hide for the rest of your life, or then you hide. Anyway, so we've talked so far at 7 minutes in this video. This is part 2. We've talked so far about how the airplane crash is related, how entanglement is related to these connections, and how they're all connected and strung together in a certain way that actually does make sense, and that nothing is a coincidence. Now, is it a coincidence that I'm, living the way I am, forced to live the way I'm living, and that it's affecting my health? It's not a coincidence. You people love to see other people in pain, hurt, agony, people taken advantage of, and I just watch life go by me, and I have no one that will come up and help me fight back. There's nothing but nothing left in the future for me. And maybe it's fitting that I've acquired the gift of being able to interpret correctly past, present, and future events. Why I include past events? Because past events, even though they've happened, are not over yet. Because there are people connected to those past events, and they're not gone yet. So it's not over until it's over. Until every generation is gone from the event that was considered a terrible, terrible event. Past is connected to present, present is connected to future, future, past, present. They're all connected. They're all intertwined. You can learn things from the past if you can pick out the right events to superimpose them and compare them to current events, and superimpose them and compare them to possible future scenarios and events. But again, You people are too busy, you know, doing the stuff that you've done for years. Now we're into this number 2 video we're at 10 minutes now. I'd like to be able to give you more, but why should I do that? It's like beating my head against the wall, and I've already tried to record one of these videos, upload it, and YouTube, you know, knocked it off, telling me that something's going on in YouTube. I haven't been able to go someplace to ask some computer experts to find out. When I say computer experts, I mean people that are working with YouTube, people that would possibly know what's going on, because I haven't been able to. I don't think anyone else has the ability to talk to anybody directly that runs YouTube. They never get on the phone. They always refer you to some stupid website to straighten out a problem you might be having. So at this point, it becomes, I guess, kind of fruitless or useless to continue trying to record more information that you people wouldn't be able to sort out anyway. It's funny that I downloaded this new program, and it's working pretty good, because that means I can capture a lot of my videos and upload them later. But I don't know how long that's going to be, or whether I'm going to be able to upload them. I tried going on the website, Google, and tried to find an alternative YouTube. Like maybe I could. I'm surprised there isn't a competitor of YouTube. That's what I'm really surprised of, that there's not somebody out there that's got their own website that's putting videos, allowing people to log in and record videos and put it on their website rather than go through YouTube, because YouTube seems to, you know, be a lost cause right now. I haven't been able to record anything since August 2nd. That's 10 days. And it very well could be YouTube has tied themselves into my future predictions. It's been 10 days since I've been able to record anything. It could be that in 2 more days, because this recording is not going to be able to upload it, and that's why I'm doing it now on August 12th, that in 2 more days, this is the 12th, it should be happening today if it holds true, the 12th or the 21st of August. One or the other, which is the last day of Ramadan, or close to the last day of Ramadan, because that's the day I give for the presidents, for the people running for president like I am, to answer my challenge to debate me. I gave them to the last day of Ramadan, and they haven't answered anything. I've received nothing on YouTube. So, and the media won't publish anything. I guarantee that if Obama or Romney said that they accepted the challenge and they would meet me, I guarantee the media would then have no choice but to cover me. And when they do, they'll print nothing but weird stuff, and they'll try to really tell people all this negative stuff or this questionable stuff about me, and try to make me look as bad as possible, because they work for the Bilderberg Group. They're all part of this dual dictatorship, which I call the Democrat-Republican Party. They're all one party. It's not what you people think. This is not a free country. I have a book here. It says How to Think and Behave Like Behavior Analyst. In it, one of the pages, it talks about free will. And it says, what is the behavioral position on freedom and free will? And it's interesting that they started writing stuff in here about free will, and I made some notes about it. And the notes I made have to do with, it says one thing, and I think I can do this in 14 minutes. It says here, to get the ball rolling, the person living under adverse conditions may seek help from someone who understands what it will take to solve the problem. My answer to that statement is, mine could have only been solved by huge sums of money before they took my stuff over the last 9-10 years. Then it says, this does not take willpower, but rather enough insight into the condition to see that it does not need to be permanent. Not true. once the damages are done, and depending on the age of the person, how old the person is, this is what I'm answering it. Depending on the age of the person, it depends on whether it is feasible to start over, and my damages are permanent because of my age. Then it says, there needs to be some initial behavior to reverse the conditions. These skills, which can be taught and should be taught to every person approaching adulthood. Behavior analysis supports and promotes assertiveness training as a method of breaking the chain that is keeping anyone in a situation where the person is constrained emotionally or physically by direct or implied threats of harm. Well, get this. Some adults live under these threats of harm by the workings of society. Now, when I say that, I mean nosy neighbors, wrongful, vicious cycle laws, any number of things that I've already talked about in the videos. So go see the videos, and then you'll see what I mean when I'm talking about living under threats of harm. It's bad enough that if we live in an earthquake area, we're living under the threat of harm of an earthquake happening at any moment. It's bad enough if we lived in a tornado alley that we're living under the threat of a tornado. But it's different when you have a supposedly smooth running society, and I don't call it smooth running, but it's moving along, and people within that society go beyond. It's like a person who has a job. They go beyond the course and scope of their employment. Well, citizens go beyond the course and scope of what they should be and should not be allowed to do to their fellow neighbor, and to set wheels in motion that destroy their fellow neighbors' lives. And the city as well, to go beyond the course of their employment and apply a rule or a regulation with such prejudice that it destroys a person's life of ever recovering from anything that they could ever do. So I don't know what else to say. You know, you people have made this for me. I didn't ask for this to happen. You people took all my possessions, destroyed my life, and you want to see more predictions? Go take notes of all the stuff that was said on video and everything that was written now, because I'm obviously going to have trouble uploading stuff for I don't know how long. I'm going to try again today, so we'll see what happens.